Hey YouTube, it's me, Lady T.
Hey YouTube, it's Robin Eve, and we're coming with a video today about a topic that has just been going on for about the last month now. Honestly, forever, but it's just been in the media for the last month. Speaking about race and pretty much a lot of the concerns that have been showing up in the blogs and the comments from people are the some of the people, Caucasian people, saying that when it comes to incidents happening with black people, it's in the media and blown up way more than it is when it's something with a white person, per se, if a black person does something to a white person. So we wanted to just kind of talk about that and then span off of that.
Well, you know, we've done a couple of videos so far concerning the Trayvon Martin incident. So tonight, like my sister said, we kind of really want to base this video not so much on the case itself, but the after effect of the whole race card. And honestly, me and Robin Eve were having a discussion last night just about how, you know, just kind of comparing certain cases that were in the media before where we felt like the victim, the Caucasian victim, got more media coverage, more media attention versus the minority, victim. You would hear about it and maybe, the next day, maybe a whole week's worth of coverage, and then it would kind of, just kind of dropped out of the media. So
just some of the pretty much the moral of our discussion is going to be that regardless of what anybody says, the media chooses. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. The media is choosing what stories they choose to run and blow up. Period. There's situations like the Trayvon Martin situation where, of course, it's getting more coverage than, let's say, what's going on or what people are comparing it to. You need some water?
Sorry, YouTube. I'm a little under the weather right now, so I'm going to do my best to contain the coughing and the sneezing. But anyways, as we're stating,
yeah. So what I was saying was people are saying that the Trayvon Martin case is getting so much attention, but cases such as what's going on in Kansas City, Missouri, there's a little 13-year-old Caucasian kid walking home from school and two older African Americans pretty much jumped him. I don't know if they beat him up, but they attacked him on his front porch, poured gasoline on him, and set him on fire. He luckily did not die. He did receive first-degree burns on his face and his hands, and I honestly, that it was a tragedy. I think the bigger story here with that situation is that not only did the 13-year-old student, but other white kids in it's a predominantly black high school where the child was walking home from school from. And in this high school, not only the victim, but other students have said that the teachers and the students, who are mainly black, are harassing them pretty much. They're being harassed on a daily basis. They're being...
Let me ask a question. I'm sorry. Is this incident stemming after the whole Trayvon Martin thing?
Yeah, this just happened. Okay. So it's after. So people feel like, why is that not getting any attention? Mm-hmm. But the Trayvon Martin case is just blown all out of proportion. So we just wanted to kind of pull up a few situations where a case has gotten so much media attention and other cases did not, that happened around the same time, or not even the same time, but in the same situations were happening. Mm-hmm. So some of the more widely known cases that people are knowledgeable of is the Laci Peterson case. May she please rest in peace. She
and baby Connor.
And they pretty much, she was killed by her husband and she was pregnant. How many months pregnant was she? 8 months pregnant, and she was killed. When she went missing, there was this whole big thing, you know, people looking for her, and it just was on and on. They've made movies about her since then, and it was heartbreaking. Some cases that happened, the same situation. I don't know if anyone remembers, but I will put the link below so people can kind of look at the case to kind of see. But there was a Hispanic black, she was black and Hispanic woman went missing. She was 8 months pregnant, and her name was Latoya Figueroa. How do you say that name? Figueroa. I just can't say the name. I know her name, I just don't know how to say it. But yes, she went missing too, and I'm pretty sure nobody knows anything about this woman. Another case that happened the same year as Laci Peterson was another Hispanic woman, Evelyn Hernandez, who was 9 months pregnant, and I believe she went missing in around the same area as Laci Peterson. And of course, nobody knows anything about this. So I really feel like people need to understand the media chooses what they choose to blow up. I don't care what race you are. So we've just named two situations where a Caucasian person had way more media coverage than somebody of a different race. You never hear black. I mean, it's mind-boggling that people don't see that. Like, I just don't think that's a big factor because this one case is blown up. I really think it's not blown up because it was a white person killing a black person or whatever. I believe he was white and Spanish, right?
Who?
George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has Mexican roots.
Yeah. So because George Zimmerman killed Trayvon, who was a black kid, I really feel like it's the simple fact of the situation surrounding it, that he was being followed. I mean, it's just so much stuff. I swear I don't want to get into it because I've been arguing about it for the last 2 days. But he was being followed, and he was profiled, and something happened in the midst of him being followed to where he ends up dead, and the person who shot him has not been arrested. And I really feel like that's what this case is. We're completely forgetting about that matter because we're so focused on race and, oh, he was white and, you know, Trayvon was black. I mean, it's just, if you see the people, you see the comments. I mean, you see Trayvon Martin videos posted up, and next thing you know, you see all these people coming and the racist remarks come. Like, come on, like, really though? Like, grow up. That's the first thing. Grow up. If you feel the way you feel, if you're a person who doesn't like black people, or if you're a black person who doesn't like white people, then keep it to yourself. Like, I mean, what point are you doing by trying to pretty much tarnish this boy's character? Because that's what's been going on now.
Yeah. From what I don't know if they deleted his Facebook or somebody went on his Facebook and seen that he had just been suspended from school and.
Yeah. But then you want people to ignore the fact that George Zimmerman had this criminal history as well. I mean, in the past, because Trayvon hasn't had anything happen where he was arrested, anything like that. But, you know, people have really got to where they're like, I mean, pulling up his Twitter page, and his Twitter name had the N-word in it, and it looks like he sold drugs, and what does that matter? I mean, none of that matters. Let's hear the facts of his case completely through, and then let's make our judgment. And that's what I leave it at that.
They're trying to destroy a character of somebody who's dead and gone and can't defend himself. Then you have someone who is out free, who's caused this man's death, and he's hiding.
Yeah.
He's in hiding. You know, I've heard that he may be in Mexico. You already know it's really hard to get people who cross the border. Once they cross that border, it's really hard to go get them.
And then to the Black Panther who have put a bounty on George Zimmerman's head, please go somewhere and hide. Like, just you can't expect that you're not anywhere as worse as people in the KKK. That you would really go on national TV and say that you put a hit out on this. You're no better than the crime that you're upset at George Zimmerman for. You're no better. So it's making it worse.
This is my take on the whole thing. Like I was saying, me and my sister had a kind of discussion last night, and not trying to justify African Americans for feeling the way they do, but I'm going to say this, and then I want to kind of talk about something else. I think the reason that African Americans feel the way they do about the situation because of what our ancestors had to go through. You know, they didn't have white slavery. You know, there wasn't white people being, you know, raped and beaten and lynched and forced to do, you know, things that, you know, African Americans had to do for, you know, back in those times. You know, I have a grandmother that's living now, and, you know, to kind of hear her tell stories about how she, you know, when she was a little girl, she used to walk to school, had to walk like almost 2 miles to school, passing up, you know, school that they were around the corner from her house, but could not go because of the whole segregation thing, and being spit on, you know, just for being black. Not doing nothing, being black. So I think a lot of the times when stuff happens and the African American community feels like there's been an injustice, you know, I think it kind of just takes you to that place of, you know, of course none of us in the 21st century have been slaves. You know, I pray to God, you know, that nobody else has. But, you know, you think about what our grandmothers and grandfathers and great grandfathers and great grandmothers have been through, and so on and so forth. So I think a lot of times you can't help but go there. So I went to intercessory prayer this evening. My pastor sent out a message wanting members to come. She felt compelled to share a message and wanted to pray. For those who don't know what intercessory prayer is, it's when you pray on the behalf of others. Some people have their own interpretation of the word, so I'm not, you know, disputing that. But anyways, when going to church this evening, my pastor said God had spoken a word to her about not being pleased with his children, all of us, on how we're handling this Trayvon Martin case. Not the fact that we're handling it, you know, not the fact that what happened, but it's the fact of how we're handling it afterwards. There has been a big division amongst us. A lot of us have chosen to get on a side. A lot of us, you know, have put our opinions out, whether good or bad, positive or negative. The fact of the matter is, none of us were there. The only people who know what went on with that in that situation was Trayvon, Mr. Zimmerman, and our Heavenly Father. So, yeah, we are outraged. We are upset by it because, you know, we look at the situation of a grown man overpowering a 17-year-old kid and killing him for nothing. But the one thing she emphasized on, it's not a black or white issue when it comes to God looking at it. The fact that we all bleed the same. It's about blood. And, you know, I think that, you know, the parents been going on a kind of like a little tour thing, you know, just visiting different cities, trying to get this case brought to justice, get Trayvon's murder some kind of justice. But, you know, looking at it from a spiritual sense, I got where my pastor was coming from, because we have, you know, chosen to get on the side. You know, we have formed our own opinions on what happened. We have, you know, kind of, I mean, like, you know, doing these YouTube videos, people, you know, the whole Facebook thing, and, you know, taking pictures with hoodies on, and you know, to make a statement. And you have to ask yourself, is God pleased with that? You know, you really think, you know, I really feel like this whole situation is for a purpose. And I believe even Trayvon's mother has said that, you know, God has a purpose for the situation, and it hasn't been revealed to us yet. So, you know, in saying that, you know, I really just, you know, I want to stay neutral until we get all the facts of the case out. If this happens to go to trial, you know, all the evidence is presented before a jury of Mr. Zimmerman's peers. I really think that, you know, I prefer this to be the last video we made regarding the case. If we have any questions or comments, as far as what I've said or what my sister has said, as far as this case goes, like I said, we more than welcome those. We'll do a response on them, but I don't really want to, put all of the time and energy into doing these videos after videos, because I'm going to leave this situation in God's hands. God's in control, and whatever it may be, it will be. And I have to step out on faith and trust that God will handle things accordingly. Even for his family, I know, I pray for his family, his mother and father. No parent should have to go through burying their child. Every day I thank God for my children. I thank God for giving me life, let me see another day. So, I just encourage all of y'all, just pray for the family. Pray for the town, pray for Florida. Pray for that town. Put some peace behind it, instead of everybody getting all riled up and picking sides and doing this and doing that. You have to ask, is God pleased with what we're doing? You think God really wants his children to be divided? Because, like my pastor said, at the end of the day, it's about the blood. And we all bleed red. We all bleed his blood. So, that's all I have to say about that. Robin, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I would. Thank you. Okay, so what I feel about the case, and two, we didn't have a discussion about the Trayvon Martin case, but in my class today we had a discussion pretty much about faith and about what you believe in and your ultimate concern. And one of the things was that people are always going to be on one side or the other, but we have to learn to respect the other person's opinion. Mm-hmm. So I feel the problem here, and why I'm choosing to kind of not talk about the Trayvon Martin case anymore until the facts come out, is we don't know what happened, okay? But what I do know is that a 17-year-old boy is no longer here. He cannot speak to defend himself. And I do know the circumstances leading up to what happened to where we don't know. And I feel like in the end, this man on the 911 tape himself pretty much admitted to following this kid. And I do know that. And I don't think that was right at all. He profiled this kid and he followed him.
I think what struck me with his 911 tape was, and him talking to the dispatcher, or I don't know if it was before or after she told him, or I forgot if it was male or female dispatcher, but anyway, they told him not to follow Trayvon. I can't remember before or after, but anyways, he said, you can hear Jordan saying, they always get away with this Now, in hearing that, they always get away with that it's just like,
He didn't say that. He said these a-holes always get away.
Well, it's the same difference, man. Did you really stop me for that?
You actually interrupted me.
Well, no, because that makes no sense. The bottom line, he said they always get away with this. It was, he said a-hole, or, basically, in your mind, you think you ask the question, who is they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is they being the black guy? Is they being the guy with the hoodie, always wears a hoodie all the time? Who is they? Is they the guy who always carries Skittles and a can of Arizona tea? So, you
go off of the facts of what has been presented. And honestly, what I'm going off from this whole situation is what has came out of the mouth of George Zimmerman. Don't care what anybody says. Everyone's heard the tape. Everyone knows what led up to this kid being murdered. And I'm not going to say any more about it. I mean, as far as making another video until we do our response video, but I'm not going to say any more about the details of this case until everything comes out and we're able to see what it is. But as far as our main topic, it's pretty much just, I feel like the media chooses and picks not based on anything other than what is interesting at this moment. Those parents raised enough sin to get the media to look at what happened to their son.
Yeah.
The same way Lacey Peterson's family banded together to get the media to pay attention to what happened to their daughter. The same way Natalie Holloway's mama was all over the place trying to get people to say, look, my daughter is missing. Well, I need to find her. Yeah. I just feel like it's really about who is going to not waver in getting justice for whatever victim is involved in this case. And that's what I feel. So our question for this hot topic is, do you feel that the media pays more attention to cases depending on the people that are involved in the case, or more about the nature of the case, the situation, what's surrounded, like, what's being brought to their attention? So is it more the details of the case, how the person was killed, how the person became missing, or is it more about the players of the case? White, black, wealthy, poor, because that plays a part too, Yeah. So is this a middle class person? Is this a rich person? Those type of things. So is it more the people involved or more the situation? So we definitely want to hear your comments and what you feel, and we'll definitely answer those comments on our response video, for our weekly response video. You have anything to add?
Not at the moment, because I'll probably start out of the conversation, but like I said, just like I said, respond to the or answer the questions that we have, and like I said, we'll respond to anything people have as far as this video is concerned. And like I said, just please, keep the family in prayers. We'll keep them in prayers ourselves. We'll keep you guys in prayer, and just really just hope that this is a peaceful. This thing gets resolved peacefully. That the family could be at peace. And that we just, start coming together. I mean, we came together after 9/11. Black, white, whatever the case, purple, yellow, green. So I just really think, that 9/11 is, even though we memorialize it every year, it's kind of like we're starting to divide again. And so that's all I have to say. Like I said, I apologize for my lagging in the video. I'm not.
Guys, we will never make another video if she's not feeling good. Bye, YouTube.